Welcome to our class today where we are going to talk about cleaning. And this is actually something I really enjoy doing. I enjoy cleaning. I know that might make me a little bit weird, but you will learn a lot of words and phrases today. Let's get started. You might say, this weekend, I went on a cleaning spree. Ooh, maybe this describes you this last weekend? Or maybe at some point in the recent past, or maybe you didn't go on a cleaning spree. Maybe you went on a shopping spree, or an organizing spree, or a dusting spree. So instead of cleaning, you can be specific and say organizing, dusting, scrubbing, or you can use a non cleaning activity such as shopping, which many people would agree is more fun. Now, we have X spree. And notice the sentence structure. You go on you need an article, and then cleaning represents the adjective, and then the word spree. Spree. Don't think about this literally. This entire expression has a meaning, and the meaning is to do a lot of that activity at once. So if you go on a shopping spree, you do a lot of shopping in a short period of time. If you go on a cleaning spree, you do a lot of cleaning in one time period. So, has this described you in the recent past? You went on a cleaning spree or maybe a shopping spree. How about this? I need to do a deep clean before my in-laws arrive. Oh, so you probably have certain people who visit you, and you want to make sure your house is spotless. Spotless. That's a great adjective you can use for cleaning. So think of all the additional words and phrases you'll learn just by me explaining. So spotless. This means extremely clean. There is not a spot of dirt or dust anywhere. Extremely clean. So you want your house to be spotless before your in-laws arrive, or your parents arrive, or your sister arrives. So a deep clean is a thorough clean. So you could say, I need to clean thoroughly. I need to clean, and then the adverb thoroughly. I need to clean thoroughly before my in-laws arrive. Before saying that, I need to do a deep clean. So notice the verb is do, because clean is functioning as a noun, not a verb. Okay. I need to clean. In that sentence, clean is a verb. I need to do a deep clean. Clean is a noun. So it is more common to use the verb clean, but in this expression, which is very common, I need to do a deep clean. I need to do a deep clean. That's a lot more natural than saying I need to clean thoroughly, which sounds quite formal or textbook. And yes, exactly, Manuel. Spotless, immaculate, immaculate. I want my house to be immaculate before my in-laws arrive, for example. Okay, let's keep going, everyone. How about this? Just give the bathroom a quick clean. What do you notice here? Well, clean functions as a noun. A clean, a clean. Now, in this case, the verb we're using is give. So give something. In this case, the something is the bathroom. You might say your office, the kitchen, the garage, whatever room it is in your house. Just give the bathroom a clean. But what type of clean? A deep clean? A quick clean. So just a quick clean. Of course, you know what quick means. So just give the bathroom a quick clean. Hopefully, this is something that you do daily. You just give a specific room a quick clean. And then maybe once a week, once a month, you do a deep clean. You do a deep clean, or you go on a cleaning spree. Let's keep going. How about this? Can you please tidy up your office? So maybe you say this to your spouse, your roommate, your family member before your in laws arrive. Now, when I say office, I'm thinking about a home office because in the workplace in North America, it's not that common to clean your workplace. Usually there are cleaners who do that. So I'm talking about your office in your home. Like right now, I'm in my office in my home. Okay, can you please tidy up your office? Now, there's an important distinction between can you please tidy up your office and can you please clean up your office? Does anyone know what that distinction is? What that difference is? Well, I have the definition of tidy up right here on the screen. So when I say tidy up, I mean organize. So let's say you have a bunch of papers. Rather than having the papers all over the desk, you take all those papers and you put them in a neat stack. Imagine these are loose papers. You put them in a stack and then you put that stack in a very specific place on your desk. So to organize, to put things in their place, that would be tidy up. Tidy up. Yeah, you can think of it as to make neat. Your spelling of neat is incorrect. To tidy up. We need to tidy up because it's messy. Exactly. So messy as an adjective is used to describe a lot of dirt or disorganization. So disorganization means that things are not in their proper place. Okay. So what about you? Is your desk usually tidy? Tidy. So that is the adjective. So you can answer this question. Is your desk usually tidy or messy? So you have to choose one. Put one put one word in the comments. Put tidy in the comments or put messy in the comments. And be honest, my husband's desk is always messy and it drives me crazy because my desk is spotless, very tidy every day. So for me, it's absolutely tidy. What about you? And if you don't have a desk, you can change that to whatever else you have. Okay. Natalia keeps her desk neat and tidy. Excellent. Excellent. Mostly tidy. I of course it's messy. Of course. Tidy. Oh, we have a lot more tidy. Oh, no, wait. Here comes the messy people. Oh, walking tour Canada. Where are you going in Canada? Let me know. Messy. Oh, a little bit of both. It drives me crazy when my desk is messy. Exactly. Tidy and neat. Awesome. So a little bit of both. Super tidy. Ooh, I like that. Spoken like a true native. Super tidy. Tidy. Yeah, you can say I am a tidy person. I'm a tidy person. I'm an organized person. I'm a neat person. You can absolutely say that. Hey, Daki, messy. Okay, it's personal preference. For me, I can't concentrate if there's a lot of mess around. But for my husband, it makes no difference. It doesn't bother him. It bothers me, but it doesn't bother him. So it's really just personality as well. Okay, so now can you please clean up your office? Clean up. So remember, just imagine if I say tidy up your office, my husband is going to take his papers and he's going to put them in an organized pile. Okay. If I say clean up, he's going to get a rag and a spray bottle, and he's going to wipe the surface. Okay. He's going to vacuum. He's going to dust. He's going to mop. So to remove dirt, dust, stains. That's the difference between tidy up and clean up. So tidy up this room, I might organize those pillows, which are always in a very tidy position. But if they were messy, then I would put them in a very specific position. That would be tidy. If I were to clean up, I would vacuum. Okay. So just different. It's a mess most of the time. I like this. I like how you use it's a mess. So this is something that people will absolutely say. A parent might walk into their kid's room, their bedroom, and say, this room is a mess. So yes, you can say this room is messy and use the adjective, this room is messy, but you can walk in and say, oh my God, this room is a mess. So you're using it as a noun, a mess. Okay, awesome. Good job. Thank you for sharing that. What's the difference between to clean and clean up? I'm glad you asked. I think that's our next slide. Well, I do have a slide on that, but before we do, a little public service announcement. Please put yes, yes, yes in the comments. It truly supports my channel. It makes sure that I can keep going live. I can keep creating free lessons for you. So put yes, 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 like this lesson, and please subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson, and share this with your friends. Maybe even a messy friend. Share this with your friends. Thank you, everyone, for showing your support. It truly does make a difference. I asked this for a reason. It truly is helpful to the channel. It's your best way of saying thank you for the free content. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Let's keep going. And I have this free speaking guide for you where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. So you can just look in the description to download it, or you can just go to my website and you enter your name and email, and this will be emailed to you. Okay. And thank you, Ariel. This also helps contribute to the channel so I can keep making content for you. Thank you so much. And if you want to take this a step further, if you want to learn in a more structured way with full lessons, a study plan, practice exercises, and the ability to ask me questions and get personalized support directly from me, well, then you can join the Finally Fluent Academy. You can find the link in the description to learn more. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, let's look at this. My room was very messy yesterday, so I had to do a deep clean, and now it looks super tidy. Congratulations. This is an excellent sentence, and it sounds very natural. You sound like a native. And a lot of times people get so confused, like, what does it mean to sound like a native? Why are all these teachers talking about sounding like a native? All it means is that you're using vocabulary, words, phrases the way that natives do, like using super as an intensifier. Natives do that all the time. So when you do it, saying, wow, it looks super tidy, instantly you sound more like a native, because that's the way my friends speak. That's the way my coworkers speak. All right. And thank you so much for showing your support. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. Now, a student asked the difference between clean and clean up. Let's talk about that now, because it's an important distinction. So how about this? After the party, can you help me clean up? Okay. Can you help me clean up after the party, after dinner, after the in-laws leave? Can you help me clean up? So this does mean, can you help me clean? If you said after the party, can you help me clean? I would know exactly what you mean. There's no confusion. I know what to do. Okay, so just remember that. But we use clean up when you want to clean a specific mess. So this is the mess created from the party? Or can you help me clean up after dinner? So, of course, is the specific mess created from dinner? Can you help me clean up after your parents leave? Is the specific mess created from your parents being here? Okay, so clean up, just think of it as to clean a specific area. Now, you can also just use it more in general. Can you help me clean tonight? Oh, tonight I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning the house. So this is just a regular clean. It's a routine clean. It's not necessarily an area, a mess caused by a specific thing, such as dinner, a party, your in-laws. It's just in general. So what you do likely every week, or maybe a little bit every day. Can you help me clean tonight? So, in general, that's the difference. But just know if you said, can you help me clean up tonight? I would know exactly what you mean. And if you say, can you help me clean after the party? I would know exactly what you mean. So, these two, clean and clean up, are more interchangeable. Yes, they have a slight difference in meaning, but ultimately, if you change the order, I understand what you mean. But if you say, can you help me tidy up? I'm not going to get the vacuum. I'm going to just start organizing papers or pillows. Okay, so there is more of a difference between tidy up and clean up. Let's keep going. How about this? Can you wipe up that spill before it stains? Can you wipe up that spill before it stains? So, what's a spill? So, a spill is liquid. It could also be solid, but we usually use it with liquids that is on a surface when it should be in a cup. So if water comes out, that would be a spill. But know that it can also be used for, or it can also be used as a verb. So, oh no, I spilled my water. So, to spill is to cause the liquid to leave its proper place. A spill is when you look at the liquid on a counter or the floor and say, oh no, that liquid shouldn't be there. A spill. Okay, so it can be a verb or a noun, but in this sentence structure, it's a noun. So get comfortable with recognizing when you see a word, well, you have to know, how is that word being used? Is it a verb? Is it a noun, adjective, adverb? You need to know that. Can you wipe up that spill before it stains? So pay attention, because wipe is used wipe, wipe up, wipe down. And they're slightly different. Wipe, wipe up, wipe down. Right now, we're talking about wipe up. So, wipe up is to remove a specific spill, but it can also be dirt. Okay. So, let's say you were outside and you got mud on your shoes, and then you touch the floor with your shoe, you step on the floor and you leave mud on the floor. You would say, can you wipe up the mud? So it doesn't have to be liquid, okay? It can be a mess, which would be mud, for example. So liquid, a specific liquid spill or mess. Wipe up, wipe up. All right, let's keep going, everyone. See this? Not wipe up. There are three forms: wipe, wipe up, wipe down. You don't want wipe up, because you don't wipe up in general. You only, when you wipe up, there's a specific spill, mess, or liquid, and you are removing it. That's the only time we use wipe up. So in this case, wipe up does not work. Okay. Let's keep going. can you wipe down all the kitchen counters? So remember I said we have wipe, wipe up, wipe down. So now I'm using wipe down. So wipe down is thoroughly clean, and it's the entire area. So I could wipe down my desk and I thoroughly clean the entire surface of the desk. I could wipe down that door because it does get dusty and dirty, and it would be from top to bottom, the entire area. I can wipe down my computer screen and it would be the entire area. Now, let's look at wipe. Why are you dusting the counters? You need to wipe them. So, dusting and wiping, they're both cleaning actions, they're both cleaning verbs. But generally, you don't dust counters like a kitchen counter, you wipe them. Okay. So, to wipe is when you have a rag, a cloth, a sponge, and it's wet. And maybe you use cleaner. Cleaner would be something like a disinfectant, Lysol, dish soap, vinegar. It can be a natural cleaner as well. I personally use vinegar and baking soda for 99% of my cleaning needs, or water. But you can, not required, you can just use a wet cloth and then you go like this, right? That is wipe. So why are you dusting the counters? You need to wipe them. So to wipe is more focused on the action. So the action is my hand moving like this. Now, if it's on a flat surface, my hand will be moving like this, okay? Where I wipe down is to clean thoroughly the entire area, but wipe, it's just not specific. I don't know if it's a specific stain. I don't know if it's the entire area thoroughly. It's just more focused on the action of moving your hand. So you can wipe your desk. You can wipe down your desk. You can wipe up some tea or coffee on your desk. Okay. So you wipe up something specific. So I wouldn't say, can you wipe up your desk? I would say, can you wipe up the coffee stain on your desk? Or can you wipe up the oatmeal on your desk if you had oatmeal for breakfast and then some of the oatmeal spilled? All right. How about this? We're moving on. So you know the difference between wipe, wipe up, wipe down. You also know the difference between clean, clean up, tidy up. So now let's move on. There's so much clutter in the basement. Ooh, what room of the house would you use this? There is so much clutter in what room would you identify? In the basement, in the spare bedroom, in the hall closet, in the attic, in the garage. What room of the house would you say? So clutter. Ooh, what is clutter? There is no clutter anywhere in my house because I can't stand clutter. Clutter, this represents things. So clutter, the word is singular, okay? Things is plural, but you would never say there are so many clutters, okay? Clutter is always singular, but it represents a plural because clutter is things that take up too much space or make it crowded. For example, if I had 10 pillows and 3 blankets on that couch, you would say the couch is cluttered. The couch is cluttered. Now, in the room, if I had boxes and 3 chairs and 3 lamps and a bookshelf and 50 books all right behind me. That's all things. But things, they're taking up too much space and it makes the room crowded. So you would refer to all of those things as the singular clutter. Clutter. Very important word, clutter. Okay. Overloaded with unnecessary stuff. Exactly. Yes, Alexander, clutter is uncountable. That's why we have there is and much. The word much is used for clutter. So who can take there is so much clutter and change it to things? What else do you need to change? Who can do that exercise? Put it in the comments. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed my news lesson. This was yesterday with the US leaving the WHO, the World Health Organization. So if you haven't watched it yet, you can find it on my channel. I posted it yesterday. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Ah, a cluttered basement. Exactly. Again, a cluttered basement. Yeah. There are so many things in the basement. Exactly. So we have to change our verb conjugation from there is to there are. Okay. So can stay, but much is for uncountable, many is for countable. So clutter is uncountable. We use the singular verb and much. Things is countable. We use the plural verb, there are, and then so many things. Well done. Well done. And thank you so much, Jorge, for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, and you can absolutely say there is a lot of clutter. There is a lot of clutter in the basement. Absolutely, you can say that. Great job. Yeah, there are so many things in the basement. Absolutely. All right, let's keep going. Let's tidy up our cluttered room. If you use clutter where you have it, it's an adjective, so you need the ed, cluttered, cluttered, cluttered. Let's tidy up our cluttered room. If you got rid of room, then clutter is the noun. Let's tidy up our clutter. Perfect, perfect. All right. Woohoo. I'm so glad this is your first lesson. And yes, lots of interesting vocabulary here, and we're learning a lot of grammar at the same time. Yeah, a pantry could absolutely be cluttered, but the adjective is cluttered. So you would say a cluttered pantry, because in this case it functions as an adjective, not a noun. In my sentence, it's a noun. Okay, so that's why there's no ed. Let's keep going, everyone. So here we see it as the adjective in this sentence. So you could equally say, right back at you to Morocco, you can equally say the basement is too cluttered. So the basement is messy. Messy is an adjective. The basement is clean, adjective. The basement is tidy, adjective. The basement is small, big, new, old, nice, ugly, adjectives. Cluttered is an adjective. So to be cluttered. In this sentence, we use the verb to be as well. The basement is cluttered. So this means the basement is filled with too many things, and it makes it feel crowded. So it's not in a positive way, because it can be filled with many things, but in a positive way, but cluttered is not positive. All right, we have a lot of first timers. Thank you so much. That's so great. I'm so glad you're here with us. Let's keep going. Yes, but you need the adjective form. Can I say I have a cluttered brain? Yes, but you're describing your brain, so you need the adjective form. And yes, you can say that. Native speakers understand it. It's more figurative. You have so much stuff in your brain that it makes your brain feel crowded. Yes, you can say it, but keep in mind it's more of a figurative way. Can you help me tidy up my cluttered room? Woohoo! Finally, we have a student using it with the adjective form. Great job. Great job. Okay, all the way to Turkey and Nairobi. Welcome, welcome. Myanmar, welcome. India, welcome. Oh, hello, Costa Rica. Welcome, Paravita. Let's keep going. Should we finally tackle the clutter in the basement this weekend? So, answer, is this a verb, noun, adjective, adverb? What part of speech is it? And I'm talking about the word clutter. Clutter. Should we finally tackle the clutter in the basement this weekend? Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate that. It truly helps keep sustaining the channel so I can keep going live, keep creating so much content for all of you. And yes, it's a noun. Great job, everyone. Yes, you got it. Because, well, you can always look for clues. Instantly, the clue is the word the, because we only use articles in front of nouns. So that's instantly your clue. Yes, you got it. You got it. Okay, should we finally? I'll answer that in a second. I have a slide on declutter. Should we finally tackle? So tackle means that you need to deal with it. You need to handle it. You need to do something about it. So if I have 20 boxes, 100 books, 3 lamps, 5 chairs, 12 cat sculptures right behind me, I need to tackle this. I need to do something about it. I need to address it. I need to handle it. I need to deal with it. Those are all alternatives. Okay, so this is a great verb. You do not only need to use this with cleaning, of course, you can use this with any problem, situation that you're experiencing. Let's keep going. And yes, there are just such subtle differences, but they're very important. So I'm glad you're finding this valuable. Okay, you don't tackle with, so you must always look at the sentence structure. You simply tackle something. So I have to tackle my math problems, not with. So just remove the word with and you got it correct. Well done. Oh, I'm so glad. Definitely want you to join as well. It's really fun. It's a great way for us to interact with each other. Yes, I'd love to come to Morocco, have some mint tea and delicious food. Oh, I have to tackle my daily bad sleeping habit. Yes, absolutely. Excellent example. Excellent. Love it. Okay, wow, great job decluttering the basement. So, wow, it's funny because you just said, let's declutter the basement. Great job. Great minds think alike. So, here, great job. This is in the ing form, decluttering, because great job doing something. So, great job tackling your math problem. Great job cleaning the bathroom. That's why it's in the ing form. Wow, great job decluttering the basement. Oh, I'm so glad it's your first lesson from, well, sorry, I keep trying to press this one. Your first class, welcome, welcome. Make sure all you first timers, you subscribe so you're notified every time I go live, every time I post a new lesson. Welcome, welcome all the way to China. Okay, we need to declutter our office after the meeting. Meeting is a singular countable noun, so you need the. We need to declutter our office for sure. Absolutely. So to declutter, this is to remove unnecessary items and to organize what's left. So maybe I decide I want to keep 2 chairs, 10 books, and 2 cat sculptures. And I get rid of everything else. Now, the remaining items, I'm also going to put them in a proper place. Organize. Organize. So declutter is different from organize because first you remove unnecessary items. With organize, I take all the papers on my desk and I just put them in a stack, in a pile. But with declutter, I decide which papers I'm going to permanently remove. Cat sculpture, a cat sculpture. Let's move on. We're not talking about clutter anymore. We're talking about something different. Just let those pans soak for a bit. So of course you cook with a pan, a frying pan. You can just say pan. So you're providing this as a suggestion. Just let those pans, so there's more than one, those pans soak for a bit, for a bit. A bit means a short period of time. Be back in a bit. See you in a bit. Call you in a bit. In a bit. But here we have 4 because we have the duration of time from start to finish. When I say in a bit, I'm only talking about the end point. Okay, 4 is the duration of time. All right. So soak. What is soak? Well, if you're getting a manicure, you will let your fingers soak in water first to soften your cuticles, for example. Okay. If this shirt is very dirty, I would let it soak in water before I put it in the washer. Now, same with dishes. You can let them soak in water. So it just to let them sit in water, to leave them in water. And why do you do that? Well, because it makes cleaning easier. Yeah, you can soak in the bathtub. You need an area where you can put a lot of water. So if I'm cleaning my shirts, maybe I would soak them in the bathtub. You can soak your dishes in the sink, and you can soak your fingers in a small bowl of water. So the vessel can be different for sure. Yeah, and you might add let's with apostrophe S. Let's put this pan, this is singular, so it means one. Okay, let's put this pan in water with soap. With soap. So you can absolutely add with soap. Your sentence structure needs fixing a little bit, but great job, Ariel. I love how you added with soap. So Ariel, you might say, let's soak this pan in water with soap. Because you can use soak as the verb. Let's soak, or let's let this pan soak in water. All right. Yeah, absolutely. You can soak beans for 4 to 5 hours before cooking. And that is a recommendation for sure. Actually, I did this yesterday. I cooked a big batch of beans yesterday for veggie burritos and I let them soak overnight. So I let them sit in water overnight. Excellent example. Yeah, you can soak the sponge in the soap. Absolutely. Great job. Let the sneakers soak for a while before wiping up the messy soil. Absolutely. So put your sneakers in some water and just let them sit there. Maybe add a little bit of soap as well. Okay. Great job, everyone. Lots of different things you can soak. Let's keep going. You can let those pans air dry. So remember, pans, plural, it means more than one. So you use those. If you use, you could also use these, those, these, either one. If you use this, it must be one. You can let this pan air dry. Okay, so to air dry, I do not do that with my hair because it would take 3 or 4 hours, which is just too long. But I do that with many of my clothes. So to air dry, to dry naturally. So you don't put it in the dryer, the drying machine, the dryer for your shirt. And if you let your hair dry, air dry, it means you don't use a hair dryer. You just let the environment dry it. Now, for dishes, it means you don't dry them with a towel. You just leave them on the counter and they dry naturally, and then you put them away. So maybe you're letting the person know that they don't have to do that because it takes time. You can let those pans air dry. You can let those pans air dry. Oh, yes. You can also use soaked as an adjective to describe something that is completely wet. So if someone knocks on the door, I might say to my husband, "Can you get the door? My hair is soaked." So I don't want to get the door because my hair is soaked. Maybe I just got out of the shower. Or you can say, "Oh, I can't wear this shirt. It's soaked. It's completely wet." Yeah, great example. Ah, I usually let my hair air dry 80% before I blow dry. Awesome. That's great. I love letting my hair air dry. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time to do it. We should clean out the fridge before we go on vacation. Okay, so clean out, clean out. So we talked about clean and clean up. Now I'm introducing a new form, which is clean out. Now I'm introducing it later because it's a very specific thing. So we should clean out the fridge. If you clean out, it means you take all the items out of the fridge and then, oh, this mustard has been here for 5 years. Throw it out. This jam is expired. Throw it out. Ooh, this has mold on it. Throw it out. Okay? So you remove unwanted items because there's usually a lot of small amount of condiments in the fridge. And then you put the wanted items back, but in an organized way. All my condiments go on this shelf. My eggs go here. My whatever goes here. So you put it in an organized way. You can clean out your fridge. You can clean out your closet. You can clean out the garage. You can clean out the basement. as well. How about this? There are so many dust bunnies under the bed. Have you looked under your bed lately? Have you looked under your couch? What would happen if you moved your couch? Well, most likely you would find dust bunnies. It's a really cute word, and it just means balls or clumps of dust. So when dust comes together, it forms a clump or a ball, and you usually find them under the couch, under the bed, or places that don't usually get cleaned. Even when you do your regular weekly vacuuming, it's the back of the couch. Definitely, there are dust bunnies under the couch. So you can use dust bunnies. Now, notice it's plural. So that's why we have there are, and we're using many. But the word dust is singular. So you wouldn't say there are dusts with an S. That doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, you can think of it like cotton balls, exactly, but it's dust. But it usually, when you take it out, it's definitely in a ball. I don't know how it happens, but it forms a ball for sure. Okay. Um, so dust is singular, it's uncountable. You never add an S, but dust bunnies, dust balls, dust clumps, that would be plural. So you would change your verb and you change much, many. So just remember you have to make those differences. And I don't know where the word dust bunnies came from. They don't really look like bunnies, but I guess maybe you could argue they are. They do look like bunnies. Okay. What do we have? In French, you use sheep. So would you say dust sheep or just sheep? There's sheep under the bed. That's interesting. Yeah, definitely. It's cute for sure. Dust bunnies. I guess the bunny more means the ball or the clump, because you still would say dust. We generally don't say there are bunnies under the bed. Someone would be like, "What are you talking about? Bunnies?" So that I don't instantly think of dust. You must say dust bunnies. Dust bunnies. Okay, so you must still use the word dust. So bunnies, I guess, represents more the balls or the clumps. Yeah, maybe that's why they're fluffy. They're fluffy for sure. Oh, dust kitty. That's so cute. I love this. I love this. Dust clouds. Oh, I love this. Yes, I can see the cloud for sure. They look like clouds. I like it. Where are these dust bunnies coming from? Even though I clean every day. Do you have pets? Because most of my dust bunnies come from cat hair for sure. Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. It's like impossible to say dusts with a plural. It's so difficult. So don't say it. It's just dust. Just dust. Let's keep moving. Now you've learned dust bunnies. That's probably the one. If you remember anything from the lesson, I bet tomorrow morning you'll wake up and you'll think dust bunnies. I'm doing laundry this afternoon. Do you have anything to throw in? So, first, notice you do laundry. You can say the laundry. You can also just say, I'm doing laundry. You don't have to say the. In this case, it's optional. I'm doing laundry. I'm doing the laundry this afternoon. So if you want to include a time reference, you can. You don't need to. You could say, I'm doing laundry after my meeting. I'm doing laundry after lunch. I'm doing laundry before my meeting. So you can use different time references if you choose. Do you have anything? So anything would be clothes. So I could say, do you have any clothes or clothing to throw in? Throw in means to add. So I have my pile of dirty clothes. And if you throw something in, it means you add a shirt to the pile. You could, so you, to add or to contribute. Contribute sounds a little more formal. I would never say, do you have anything to contribute? But that means more the literal translation of it. But to add. So I would absolutely say to my husband, do you have anything to add? Do you have anything to add? I would say that. But you can also use throw in. Yeah, you could use throw in with ideas. Not as common, I'll be honest, but does anyone have any ideas to throw in? Yeah, you could, but I would say it's not the most common. I would say you're safer to use add or contribute. In a meeting context, contribute sounds a little more formal, add sounds natural, everyday. And then with laundry, you can use add or throw in. Definitely not throw out, because throw out means to remove permanently. Let's keep going. You can't just wipe the toilet. You need to scrub it. Oh, so remember I explained wipe is how you move your hand like this or like this if it's on a vertical surface, horizontal surface. Now, what is scrub? This is scrub. As fast as you can, as hard as you can. Scrub. You can scrub your nails. You can scrub your face. You can scrub your hair. So there are other things you can scrub as well. If there is a stain on my shirt, well, then I might scrub it. But I probably, if there was just a little bit of dust on my shirt, then I would wipe it. Okay, so that would be the difference. Yeah, I need to scrub my sink. Absolutely. So certain things when you're cleaning, you don't wipe them, you scrub them. The sink is absolutely one of them. If you have a stainless steel sink, here's a tip for you. Use baking soda. Baking soda, just put a little water in it to turn it into a paste. Only use this on stainless steel, and then use steel wool, so a steel sponge to scrub it. It will look brand new. It will look spotless, immaculate. Try it. You won't be disappointed, but only stainless steel. Do not use that on porcelain. Okay. How did the floors get so sticky? So, especially if you have children, you probably have a lot of sticky surfaces. So, a surface can be a counter or a surface can be the floor, even. So, how did the floors get so sticky? Sticky is when you touch it and then it's difficult to get your fingers off because they stick. So a substance that stays attached. So sticky, the first thing I think of is honey, syrup, of course, glue. That's the purpose of glue. It's sticky. Okay. So, how did the floors get so sticky? So, you wouldn't say messy, dirty, dusty. This is just a specific adjective. Sticky, sticky. Yeah, exactly. Rice. Well, the purpose of sticky rice is that it's difficult to separate the individual grains. That's what we don't say pieces, grains, the grains of rice, because they're in a clump, basically. Sticky rice. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So you can use that to describe a surface or rice for sure. Or if you eat chicken wings, that or anything that ribs, anything that has a lot of sauce on it, well then after you'll say, "Oh, I need to wash my hands. They're really sticky." So if you eat food with your hands, well then often you would describe your fingers as being sticky. So you need to wash your hands because your hands or your fingers specifically are sticky. And yeah, absolutely someone said a sticky note. Exactly. So, oh, this one's not so sticky anymore because it's old. I have something written on here that I need. So it's not so sticky. It doesn't really stick. But yes, exactly. Let's keep going, everyone. I'll wash the floors. I'll mop the floors. You can use either one. Just know that a mop is more with the device called a mop. But if you wash the floors, you could be on your hands and knees with a rag or a towel, and you can be wiping the floors on your hands and knees. Okay. But a mop, you're going to use or to mop, you're going to use the device called a mop. But if you are mopping, you can say, I'm washing the floors, I'm mopping the floors. But if you're on your hands and knees, you can only say, I'm washing the floors. Okay? I'll wash the floors, I'll mop the floors after I unload the dishwasher. So to load, you can use this with your dishwasher, which washes your dishes being cups, bowls, plates, cutlery, pots, pans. Or you can use load, unload with a washer and a dryer. Now, that's what Americans say. We call them a washer and a dryer. The washing machine, the drying machine. I don't call it a washing machine. I call it a washer and a dryer. Okay. But when I go to a store, they often will call it a washing machine. But just when I'm talking about it, I call it a washer dryer. So it's just a casual term that Americans use to describe a washing machine and a drying machine. So you load, which means you put items in. So you put your clothes in or you put your dishes in. Now, to unload, it means that you remove them, you take them out, and then most likely you also return them to the proper place. So I take my cup out of the dishwasher and I put it in the cupboard, or I take my clothes out of the washer and I put them in the dryer. And if I take them out of the dryer, I put them in my closet. Okay. I have just dropped a glass of milk and I had to clean the sticky floor. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you can also use clean. I should have included that. You can say, I'll clean the floors. Just know clean, it may be vacuuming, it may be mopping, washing. So clean is more general. And then wash, mop is specific with water. Water. Can you take out the garbage and recycling? Can you take out? Okay, so here we learned take out, meaning remove. Now, specifically with garbage or recycling, you remove it and you remove it for proper disposal. All right? So you put it in a specific area outside, at the curb, wherever you put your garbage. You take it to the garbage chute in the hallway of your apartment or condo. Can you take out the garbage and recycling? Can you take out? So can you remove permanently? Can you dispose of? How about this? Should I sweep now or after dinner? So we talked about mopping or washing, which is with water, but sweep is not with water. So that would be the difference. You sweep up the dust bunnies, the dust bunnies. Should I sweep now or after dinner? So sweep, this is the verb. Should I sweep? And you sweep with a broom. You mop with a mop. You sweep with a broom. You vacuum with a vacuum. One more. Can you sweep up? So notice I said, should I sweep now or after? But the example I said, can you sweep up the dust bunnies? Can you sweep up the dust bunnies? So can you sweep up these crumbs? Crumbs, imagine you're eating toast, and as you take a bite, little pieces from your toast fall, okay? Those are crumbs. Or if you're cutting bread, there's going to be little particles, little pieces. Those are crumbs. Can you sweep up these crumbs so we don't track them everywhere? So first, let's talk about sweep up. This is you sweep a specific area or mess. So remember I said sweep up the dust bunnies. So that's a specific mess, the dust bunnies. You can just sweep, which would be the entire area. But if you sweep up a specific area or mess, like crumbs, dust bunnies, things like that. Now, so we don't track them everywhere. If you don't sweep the crumbs, when you walk, you're going to step in the crumbs. The crumbs will stick to your feet. And then when you walk, the crumbs will disperse. They will spread. So that is to track them, the crumbs everywhere. The crumbs are here, but if you walk through them, they will spread, they will disperse. Okay, can you sweep up these crumbs so we don't track them everywhere? And now you have everything you need to start cleaning, and hopefully you clean your house from top to bottom, inspired by this lesson. You do a deep clean. Now, remember, I have this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can find the link in the description. And also, if you want to keep improving your English, and if you want my personalized support, you can get that in the Finally Fluent Academy. This is my premium program to help you understand real English, sound fluent and natural in as little as 90 days. And of course, you'll keep learning and improving after that. And you'll have me as your personal coach. So you can also look in the description or go to my website to learn more. And that's it, everyone. So put yes, 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 or clean, clean, clean in the comments if you enjoyed this lesson. I'm glad everyone was so excited to learn cleaning vocabulary. I mean, most people don't enjoy cleaning. I do, but most people don't. But I'm glad everyone seemed very enthusiastic about this lesson. Woohoo, clean, clean, clean. Let's go. Let's go. You're very welcome. Glad you enjoyed it. Let's go. Woohoo, clean, clean, clean. Woo, let's keep going, everyone. Get cleaning. Get cleaning. Time to clean. Rise and clean. That's what I say. Rise and clean. Let's go. All right, everyone. This was fun. get cleaning, clean the kitchen, clean whatever room you need. Woohoo. Yes. Wipe and clean. Wipe and clean. Woohoo. All right, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day. Get cleaning.